to help with my stress and how to improve my stress levels.
So I'm hearing you're stressed. You want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yep. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Like physically and mentally and emotionally. I just broke up with my girlfriend as of late, and we didn't end on the right foot. So that kind of has some things to do with my stress. Also, school. Obviously, school is a really big part of that. Um, my first year here, I had a really low GPA, and I had to save my scholarship the year after that to stay in this school. And I want to graduate from a university, and since NAU offered me that opportunity, I was like, you know what, I need to really pick it up a notch and save my scholarship. So I had that going on for the first 2 years of NAU here, and then I finally got out of that stress. I managed to save my scholarship, just barely taking a summer course. But now I gotta deal with rent and everything. Little did I know that we have to pay for our rent during the summer months. I didn't know that. I thought you could just put it on pause or something, and then you wouldn't have to freaking pay for the whole entire summer. So I wouldn't have to pay for June or July. But then I found out that I found out that I had to pay for both months. So now I had to come up with a job that's gonna pay a lot more for that. Um, like I was saying, academically, I have A's and B's, and I'm trying to get all A's. So a lot of stress keeping up with all the schoolwork and all the homework.
So you're under a lot of stress right now. You're juggling a lot. You're trying to stay to your studies. You're a little sad that breakups are hard, and that all takes a toll on you right now.
Exactly.
Um, You're very responsible, which you don't want to let anybody down. I hear that rent can be a problem sometimes.
Yeah.
What are you doing to handle your stress levels right now?
So I'm kind of a gym rat. I like going to the gym like 6 days a week. Usually, sometimes for sure 5 days a week. Some of those days are 2 days, but I try to strive for 6 days a week, and that helps me a little bit. Go like let out some energy, kind of socialize with other people, and look at other people's technique, and just have a good social interaction with everyone around me, and kind of release all that negative energy that I have. But it helps a lot, but I feel like it's not enough sometimes. I come back home and I can't sleep straight away sometimes.
That's great that you have a discipline on going to the gym and staying committed.
Yeah.
But it sounds like that's not really doing anything to take your stress levels down.
It's helping, but not as much as it used to when I first started, and especially now that stress has increased, it's not the only outlet I need. I feel.
Wow. Well, how about if I give you some tips on how to lower your stress levels that maybe you could try? Would that be okay?
That sounds great. I'm down to hear any tips and advice you have for me to lower my stress levels.
Well, besides exercise, I know that you can also try some breathing exercises.
Breathing exercises.
And as well as listening to soothing music.
Oh, you know what? I actually started listening to classical study music lately, and it helps me focus on homework, and it makes me feel kind of calmed down a little bit. So I think that's a good tip. I just started doing that, so I think it works. Yeah.
Well, that's great that you started. How would making this change help you better your life right now?
Oh, okay. So I tend to be really energetic, and like sometimes that energy can be misinterpreted as being aggressive. So I guess you could say I'm really aggressive, and then if I feel like I'm being threatened, I tend to exclaim really loud. So I'm hot-headed, and I like to think I'm not, but I know that I am. So maybe following these tips and advice might help me control those emotions a little bit more. That way, I'm easier to be around with, and not always be a 10 out of 10 or a 12 out of 10 of energy levels, but match the atmosphere around me sometimes.
So you feel that you just have such strong, powerful emotions that you don't know how to handle them sometimes.
Yeah, I'm pretty passionate in everything I do, so sometimes that's an issue.
Well, that's great that you feel so strongly about it, but you just want to find a way not to come up as intensely.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I don't want to be as intense sometimes.
If you were to start making this behavior change, do you have anyone who could support you to better yourself?
Well, I have strong family connections, so my little brother is someone I talk to a lot about my emotions, and I feel like he would support me in this process, and I would trust him to tell me when I'm being intense and how to correct that behavior. My roommates and my friends here that I live with are also people I'm supported by, and I feel like they would tell me as well when I'm being a little bit too intense and when to match their similar energies. So I have good foundations, a good group of friends and family. Not a big group, but like it's quality over quantity. Like I have a good select few people that I can count on for support.
So you have a good, strong support right now. It's just about getting them to start helping you right now.
Yeah, it's probably me just opening my mind a little bit more to criticism. Like I know that constructive criticism is good. Sometimes I just don't want to listen to it, so I need to be able to learn how to do that.
So that's good that you're aware of what you feel that you should need to start doing. It's just the action of actually starting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I've acknowledged it, now I need to act on it.
Have you thought of some things that you could come up with on helping reducing your stress levels?
So I've gotten kind of religious lately.
Okay.
So I find that helps me a lot in finding some inner peace within myself and like finding a bigger purpose than just everyday actions in life. I'm finding that reading my Bible lessons and going to church sometimes, it helps me just kind of put my whole life on pause and just I'm right here, I'm right now. This is what's at hand, and it makes me open up myself to myself, like self-reflection. It helps a lot with that.
Right now you have religion and you feel like that could be an option to also helping you out right now.
Yeah, actually I'm taking some religious studies courses next semester, in my last semester, yeah. I'm taking 3 different religious studies courses because I've gotten pretty interested in the Bible, and that's helping me clarify some emotions that I have inside and stuff.
Well, that's great that you can have this escape as well. Sounds like you have put some thought into this before.
Yeah.
Definitely. Well, how confident are you on a scale from 0 to 10, 0 being not confident, 10 being confident, are you that you can actually start applying this behavior change?
So one thing I pride myself in is my how determined I am and how I never quit at something when I put my mind to it. So I know some things are harder than others, and I know for me to change myself it's going to be something hard because I have a pretty high notion of myself, but I also know that I have issues. So those two conflicting states of mind are going to be obviously a struggle that I need to overcome. But confidence level, I feel like I'm at a 7.
Okay.
Like I said, like for one, like the first 4 points I would say are just acknowledging it itself. And the other 3 points out of that scale, I would say I have a support behind me of my friends and family. So I have a 7 out of 10 in confidence level on being able to beat this stress level that I have.
Well, it's a pretty good score, right? Well, it's great that you sound so confident in your confidence levels. Are there any other areas that you feel that could be improved because of your stress levels? Maybe like some eating habits or your sleeping habits?
Oh, I see. So I definitely would say that my stress level now has a direct effect with my eating habits. I tend to either not eat at all or I tend to eat too much. So like when I'm feeling too down from the stress, I'll eat a lot. So I kind of feel that hole I feel within myself of being useless, that I can't manage that stress. So I'll eat a lot of like junk food, so like ice cream or like some buttered toast, and I'll just eat some random food that I have around here, and that makes me eat some more. But then other times when I feel more in control of that stress, but it's still affecting me, I'll forget to eat because I'll be ambitious and I'll do a lot more homework, or I'll go do a gym for 2 days. I'll come back and I'll shower and I won't eat. So it's one or the other, just no in between. I mean, there are some good days, where I'm able to have good diet, and like because I'm going to the gym so often, I'm trying to keep a diet plan. But on the weekends, especially when I have more time to kind of reflect to myself, my eating habits are directed then more often.
Your emotions definitely take out part of how you eat, and also obviously your stress. They both go hand in hand, and it's just not good for you.
Yeah, when I can't control it, yeah.
Definitely. So you just feel uncontrollable at times. And you said this also affects your sleeping habits as well.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
So when I feel too stressed, I'll I'll end up going to sleep like around midnight, sometimes at 2 a.m., knowing I have class at 9 the following morning. So I have to get up at 8, 7:30. So if I go to bed at 2, I'm getting like 5 hours of sleep. And then I still have a whole entire day of having like 3 or 4 classes a day, going to the gym, getting homework done, especially now that finals are coming up and final presentations. I'm not able to get enough sleep to keep up with the workload. So I need to be able to find productive ways of coping with that stress.
So not only is this stress taking out a toll on your eating habits, but your sleeping habits.
Mm-hmm.
You find it hard to fall asleep, and when you do, it's just not a good restful sleep.
Yep.
And you still have to deal with this the whole day, and it's a cycle that just repeats itself.
Pretty much until summer break or winter break comes along, and then I'm able to forget about that for a month or two, but then coming right back to it, starting from the top and just snowballing out.
You hit a reset button, and then it all comes back down.
Exactly.
And that's what we're trying to avoid.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to what I was saying earlier about my tips, how do you feel about maybe implying them once or twice a week to like help you maybe start trying to reduce those levels?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep going to the gym, because that's a for sure thing I have to do every single day or every other day is go to the gym and just let out some energy. But I'm gonna keep listening to classical music because I know that soothes me, and I'm gonna keep with my religion and my religious studies and find a different state of mind to be able to calm myself.
Alright, well it sounds like we're off to a great start. You acknowledge that you want to reduce your stress levels. You know what's affecting you. You know the toll that it has on you. And you're willing to try out some of my tips.
Mm-hmm.
So how about we meet next week and we talk about how you've been doing so far and what maybe we can change later on.
Sounds good. I'm looking forward to that.
Alright, well thank you so much for coming in, Richard.
Thank you.